Everybody, this is Shay-lon. Happy Monday. I hope all of you had a wonderful weekend. Mine was, yeah. Um, I saw the movie Sing. It was very cute. I went with my youngest brother and my mom. It was a very good movie. Funny. I love singing, so I got to sing along. Woo-hoo. Um, Today I did not go to the gym. I had my womanly issues to handle, so I didn't make it. So there is no workout video for today. Sorry, don't be mad at me. Hopefully tomorrow there will be. If not, you'll just hear me talk again, which I know how much you guys all love that. Today's topic. I had somebody on Instagram who follows my blog ask me to talk about my diet slash nutritional habits. Since I'm always talking about my gym habits, they were wondering if my nutrition matches my gym habits, which makes sense because you need both in order to have balance and to meet certain goals, right? So, if you don't already know, I do work out 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, and Sundays are my official rest days. It had been so very long since I've told anybody about my nutritional habits because I just kind of have been playing around with it for a long time. It's a trial and error kind of situation. You'll learn with as you go that everything's like a trial and error. Like some things work for you that it won't work for others and vice versa. So I kind of had to find my way. When I was 18 on up, I wouldn't even say 18, I'd probably say 20. I was switching to see what trendy diets were working. That's when I kind of was being like, young and oblivious. So I was paleo-ish for a while, and I realized I couldn't stick with it because I just didn't understand it, I guess, at the time, and I didn't really have a whole idea of how to stick with it. So I was paleo for a while, and then after being paleo, I just kind of was like, I don't give a crap for a while. And then after the I don't give a crap, I was like, oh my gosh, what can I do? So then ever since then, I've just been trial and error. But I love to cook, so I cook a lot. For starters, my regular day, normally, breakfast and lunch, I do not meal plan. Why? Because I'm more spontaneous during those days. Some days, I don't necessarily want to eat lunch. Some days I do. It just depends. For breakfast, usually I have oatmeal with I shouldn't say whole wheat bread, with 2 slices of wheat bread with butter, high calcium, low fat. I like jelly on my bread too, but I haven't had that in a while. Oh, what kind of oatmeal? I get the instant ones with maple and brown sugar, but I get the low sugar. Why? Because I like it. I know it's not the best option of oatmeal, but I also don't really care. You're gonna realize this a lot. I don't really care. I care about my nutritional, but I don't care to the point where I'm gonna be that anal on myself, especially if I'm making my goals at this point. So I'm not gonna change it. Now, if I notice that it's hindering me, then I will change it. That's fine. But as of right now, it's not hindering me, and I like my maple and brown sugar oatmeal. Yes, I know I could add those ingredients myself. I know somebody's in the comment section is going to say that. I just don't want to. Let's see. So it's usually that. I like scrambled eggs. I prefer my eggs scrambled, so it's really hard for me to take it any other way. Unless it's hard boiled on a salad, that's really good too. Eggs. I don't really make pancakes and waffles very often because, I don't know. I mean, I love pancakes and I love waffles, but I don't make them very often. I don't even have pancake mix or waffle mix here at the house. So, yep, won't be having that for a while. Um, let's see. I don't eat cereal. I like cereal, but I don't buy it. Like, if somebody has it at their house, I'll eat it, but I don't go out of my way to buy it. And if I do buy it, it's mostly just for a snack, like eating it dry. And it's a certain type of cereal, obviously a high protein cereal for that reasoning. So, I don't really buy it for breakfast though. Lunch. Typically, and I don't eat Pop-Tarts and stuff like that. I used to as a kid, but I don't eat Pop-Tarts now. I mean, I'll eat them if somebody offers, but I don't buy them as well. Um, Lunch. Lunch can be spontaneous. Sometimes it's leftovers, sometimes it's oatmeal. I know that's sad. Poor me. Um, Sometimes it's a sandwich, I guess. I have made like avocado on toast with, spices and stuff like that. That's cool. I like that too. Just depends. Um, so lunch is not something that I necessarily plan for. It's just kind of like whatever I'm in the mood for, whatever's in my refrigerator or my cabinet at the time. There have been some days where I've been that lazy where I've left the house and got a burger from somewhere else. I didn't like what I had in my cabinet. I'm learning not to do that as often. Which I don't eat out very often. I don't like fast food very often. Um, Dinner is whatever I meal plan. I like to cook, so I meal plan. I look up recipes. I use Pinterest. Sometimes I use other people. Sometimes I just be experimental in the kitchen. Just depends on my mood. And I meal plan and I go off of that for 2 or 3 days. I try to meal plan for 2 or 3 days. I've done it for 15 days is the longest, and whoo, that seemed like forever with that same food. It seemed like forever. Thankfully, I still like that food, but it just seemed like forever. So now I just do 2 or 3 days at a time. Therefore, if I ever change my mind, it's like, oh my gosh, I have time to do that. So yeah, dinner is usually chicken. If it's not chicken breast, chicken thighs, baked. I don't fry my chicken. I like fried chicken. I know that's weird that I don't fry my chicken because I like fried chicken, but I don't. I bake it, and honestly, I prefer it baked. Um, let's see. Usually a vegetable. I love broccoli, so that's usually a vegetable choice. But I'll eat, if I want a starchier vegetable like corn or green beans, something like that. And if I do have a carb with it, which sometimes I do, it's usually like a small amount of mashed potatoes if I feel like making mashed potatoes, or sometimes it's just like a slice of like bread with butter. I don't know, it's weird. My carbs range. Sometimes it's rice, brown rice, sometimes it's white rice, sometimes it's broccoli, sometimes it's corn, sometimes it's freaking sometimes I don't have either one. Sometimes it's just no carbs whatsoever as far as that goes. So it just depends. So that's like my, not every day, but that's my majority. So if somebody was to analyze what I eat on a daily basis, they probably wouldn't say I eat clean, but I don't necessarily believe that word signifies everybody. I guess everybody's thoughts on what eating clean is a little bit different. I mean, for some people, it's eating vegan. For some people, it's eating vegetarian. For some people, it's eating paleo. For some people, it's eating no carbs. I mean, everybody's is just so different. And so mine doesn't really have a name. It's just whatever I feel like that goes along with my goals. For example, I grew up eating wheat bread all my life. But somewhere along the path, probably around 18 or 19 when I moved out and did my own thing, I went to white bread, and I loved it, and I liked it, and I hated wheat bread. And then I realized the white bread, at the time, I wasn't stupid. I know white bread is nutritional, but at the time, thinking about it, I didn't care. But now when I think about it and so many people keep, telling me about it, it's like I decided to go back to wheat bread. And I found that I'm getting more benefits from it. And I look a lot different when I eat wheat bread versus when I eat white bread, weirdly enough. Another thing, I grew up drinking vitamin D milk. And I like vitamin D milk, and I like 2% milk as well. But I found out that I'm lactose. I diagnosed myself. And so I drink almond milk. I started off with vanilla almond milk, sweetened, but now I drink unsweetened vanilla almond milk. So it's very good, and I like it. I don't eat very many sweets. I'm not a sweets person. I'm not big on chocolate. I'm not big on like cakes and cupcakes. I can go days without that. I can go years without that if I had to. That's not my big deal. Carbs, I like them, but I don't like, I know my limit. I've kind of learned my limit, and my eating habits have kind of like shrunk since being a kid. So I like just eating whatever pretty much. I mean, nowadays I watch my macros. I mean, I've been doing that for about 6 months steady doing it. But it doesn't necessarily, I don't allow it to hinder me from enjoying a meal out with my friends or family. Like if I go to Cheddar's, I don't allow my macros to kill my fun. You know what I mean? I'm just aware of my consequences. If I don't like the consequences, then I make a different choice next time or that time. So, it is what it is. Alcohol, I don't really drink very often. I do like wine, but I don't drink it every day. I don't drink it every week. It's very occasional, very occasional. And I don't really like beer. So in that department, I'm not too bad. I don't always hit all my macros, but I try. I really do try. I guess nutritional wise, I believe in whatever works for you, works for you. Find something you can do long term, but don't use somebody else as a reason to kind of like hop on that bandwagon. You just kind of find what works for you and what meets your goals. You know, I use other people as guides, like whatever their nutritional basis. I use it as a guide to lead me in the direction that I need to go. Um, and that's kind of how I do it. Since doing that, I've been feeling really good, and I make choices that are reasonable, and I understand portion sizes, and I understand serving size, and I understand eating a variety of food. And because I like to cook, it makes it easier for me. Um, so yeah, that's my nutritional life. I guess I just eat what I like at the time, and I change what I don't like. You know, drinking regular milk made me bloated, uncomfortable, and sick. And so even though I love it, I had to change that in order to change what I wanted. And so I had to find an alternative, and I liked the alternative just as much, if not better. Same with white bread versus wheat bread. I had to change that in order to seek the benefits that I wanted in my body. And those small changes did make a difference in me. So I'm happy I did that. Um, Fruits and veggies, you know, I'm still learning to explore, so it's kind of new to me. All these veggies and fruits, I just use the basic ones I know. Sometimes I get scared of trying something new, but I'm learning. You know, I'm taking a step at a time. But outside of that, you know, meats, I eat a lot of meat. You know, I don't plan on going vegan or vegetarian anytime soon. So, you know, I just do me, and I allow my nutritional habits to match my gym habits so that I am able to see the benefits in my body, health wise and fitness wise. You know, if there's something not working, then I do analyze what I'm eating, and I do analyze my workouts so that they coincide. I will never be perfect, and I will never be able to hit everything exactly the same every single day of every single month. So sometimes your body plateaus for different reasons, and that means I got to change something. And so when I do it wholeheartedly. I really do. And that goes for anybody else. You know, you don't have to follow my lead. I'm not the one answer, and neither is he or she. You got to find what works for you and what you can do for the long term that will benefit your goals and benefit what you want out of it. If you want weight loss, you got to change something in order to get that. You want weight gain, change something in order to get that. Maintenance, same thing. So what I have to say to that person that asked me, what are my nutritional habits? I don't have a name for it. I do my macros, so I guess the macros is what I do. If you were to put it in a column on its own. But I just make them match. I make my workouts match what I eat. You know, if I don't work out, I change that habit for the day of what I would normally if I did work out. So that's what it is. Hopefully that all made sense. It's a lot to talk about in one video when you only have a certain time frame to kind of get your point across. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I don't mind talking about more in depth. I guess I just kind of wanted to hit the broad areas of everything. So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe and follow my social media. And if you don't read my blogs, please do. It's still growing, and I appreciate everybody's support from here on out. Thank you. Bye.